What's up, guys? Thanks for coming to the Plus Two
Sanford and
Comedy
Sons?
Podcast.
There's not Sanford
There's not a
and
podcast.
Sons.
What are we doing?
What?
I said this was a
What's
podcast.
that
I'm
indie
lying.
band?
Oh, wow. Can
Yeah.
you be any more specific,
If you
please?
had named Mumford and Sons.
Wow, how the fuck did you do that?
Because he heard me say...
Real
Yeah.
quick, disclaimer, everyone here is 18, right? Good, I can say bad words.
Excellent, excellent. So, guys, welcome to the Plus Two Comedy Show. Usually we have a bigger crowd, but we're up against binge drinking tonight. And thus... is there karaoke too? Ah, damn it.
The two are not unrelated.
Yeah. I think those guys left so we could do the show, but got louder. So this is going to be the Plus Two Comedy Show. We are a nerd stand-up comedy trio, so we'll be doing some stand-up comedy for you guys. Thanks for coming and not being belligerently drunk. I hope that you're at least a little drunk. It makes things... No? Damn it. Damn it. All right, that's fine. But we'll be doing comedy for you for the next couple hours. Couple hours? What the fuck am I doing to ourselves?
Whoa.
We're doing it for an hour. That's all you're getting.
For a couple
Sheesh. Yeah, I'm used to MAGLabs, which is like 4-hour marathons.
but also more than 3 people.
Yeah, exactly. Very true. So we're a nerd-specific stand-up comedy group. What we like to do is we all do some comedy, and at the end we like to do a Q&A. Chances are everyone's going to get a chance to answer a question based on looking at the room. So if you want to ask us about us and about comedy, you can. If you want to ask us who would win in a fight between Iron Man and Mega Man, we will give you a definitive answer. So I wanted to give you guys a chance to think about that as the show goes on. I think we're already behind.
I mean...
Well, I mean,
It's 11:02.
yeah, I mean, these guys are here to see comedy.
We could cut out all the time that we added in for applause breaks and stuff.
These guys I need you all to sound like you're at least 3 people. Can you do that for me? I saw some people visually shrugged. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Yo, back corner
You in the-
crown guy. Where'd you get that?
Oh. How many did you
How?
make? Damn it.
But like how? I want to be pretty.
So magic. Oh
my God.
Oh.
I am now queen.
I thought it was like a Jughead crown, but now up front, it's a full, like, yeah, that is a
Mag
beautiful
crown.
crown. You are now the queen of MAGFest. Congratulations. That's how it
I
works.
swear I'll give this back.
She's lying. She's lying to you. So let's get this show started, guys. I know we're a small crowd, but we're gonna have a good time, right?
Woo!
I will force a good time out of you. So let's get excited. Let's have a good time. I want you guys to give it up for your host. She's part of Pretty Nerdy Things. Please give it up for Laura Ashley.
Yes, I'm the host, despite the fact that all of the initial talking was done by one guy. So we're at MAGLabs, and that's awesome. Who is loving the BioShock theme this year? I love it. I love the Art Deco font, and I love the like creepy 1920s music in the elevators. And most of all, I like that they engineered a rainstorm, so it feels like we're underwater in Rapture. Like, good job. That's some Disney World level theming shit right there. But since it's MAGFest, I got to say the question, like, who's been drinking? I was drinking with my friends recently, and one of them brought out Black Box wine. And I really want them to start living up to that name. I want them to include a recording device in every package so you can see exactly where your night went south. It was when you bought boxed wine. I've been drinking a lot lately. My best friend got engaged, and like, I'm so glad no one clapped. Do you guys have any idea how hard it is to keep pretending I give a shit? But like, I've been going to wedding shows with her, and this woman was like, "Best of luck on your bridal journey." What the hell is that? And then I realized something horrible. We're on a journey, and I'm the best friend. What happens to best friends on journeys? That's right, they die. So now I'm looking at her figuring like, can I haul Jen's ass up Mount Doom? Like, some older guy gave her a ring, and now I've got to do all this fucking work. But like, I love my friends, except for my roommate. My roommate's taken up writing Transformers porn. And no. I used to be like, you know what, I don't want to know. And then one day I was like, I'll bite. What is Transformers porn? And she went, it's plug and play. That answers nothing. And so she launched into a 45-minute explanation about like ports and sensors and how they derive pleasure. And long story short, now my laptop and phone charge in a different room than the one I sleep in. And like now I just dim the lights, turn on some slow jazz, and ask Siri to tell me when they're done. Because like now I know where they're getting their ideas. I write out my jokes so I don't forget stuff. So we're all gamers here because we're at MAGFest. Who watches E3? Okay, like not who reads the news later. Who actually like watches these press conferences? They are painful. They are. I love watching the trailers and finding out about games and systems. But these press conferences, it's always this awkward dude who hasn't been on stage since his first grade Christmas play. It's like the worst episode of Fear Factor of all time. For your next challenge, you must go in front of this room full of voracious gaming fans and tell them all that the NES Classic is discontinued and never coming back. Yeah, I'm going to talk about like things that are more girl in nature, so this is going to be really confusing to all of you, but you guys all use the internet. You've seen the memes of like, Disney gave me wrong expectations about things. But like, Disney didn't do that to me. Like, I like animals, I have good hair, like, I like to sing. Anime screwed me. Because I was clumsy and a daydreamer, and I just assumed one day in my life, my cat would tell me that I was Princess of the Moon. That didn't happen. But we have reality shows for everything, and I really want to see the Magical Girl reality show. I want to see, like, best transformation sequence and prettiest weapon. And, like, it doesn't matter how hard you try, because the girl in the back with the blue hair is the protagonist, so she's going to win anyway. And if you try too hard and get too good at it, you're the villain. So, is everyone here still 18 plus? Okay, good. I was looking at you specifically. I'm sorry. You were the last person to enter the room, so I wanted to make sure we said that before I said any of the next several sentences of my life, before I get banned from the universe. Okay. Sex as a nerd is so awkward, because, like, you don't start dating until so much later. And, like, by that point, it's that meme of, like, at this point, I don't know, and I'm afraid to ask. So, like, with oral sex, I only know 2 moves. And I learned them from Kirby. So I know swallow and absorb their power, or spit it in his face and destroy him. All right, let me bring up your featured comedian. Yeah, you get to follow the spitting in the face joke, Will. He is one half of the Plus 2 Comedy Podcast, and he is one of the featured players on Game the Gamer. And he is a finalist of the King of Campus Comedy Competition. Will Liam. You are involved in Game the Gamer. You were there.
I'm not on it, though. Not yet.
You're gonna be.
Yeah. If you guys liked coming in my mouth jokes, that's my whole set. So, that's not true. I love these badges, because we do this a lot, and normally they're just like little plastic dealies. But these ones have lots of fun features, I'm sure you're finding. If you turn around in the front, like there's buttons on the back, but if you go in the front, those jagged things, if you jam your thumbs into them, you bleed all over the fucking place. So that's a fun thing you can do. All over my arm. Yeah, right. I don't even have my, I was like, I can't, it's not worth the risk anymore. I was like, when the fuck did I get cats? They wanted us to miss our pets, I guess. I have cats, I don't know. I have one cat. I have one cat that's like, you ever watch, not The Ring, The Grudge? Like a Japanese demon cat? But after it killed all the white protagonists, what's the cat going to do? So I went to the shelter. I was like, I'll take that one. The last time I saw it, I don't know where it is most of the time. I was opening up a cabinet above my fridge, and it just goes, ha! I'm like, fucking cat! Oh. Man. Don't, if you're in a relationship, don't ever get an animal, and then they leave, and then you're stuck with a demon cat. That, you know what you do. Yeah, have a cat. But that would have been great. I'd just stuff the front half of them, like going at people. And then I wouldn't have to feed them. It'd be the same experience. Oh, man, there's this thing now, I'm sure you guys hear, that people talk about how it's like cool to be a nerd, and it's like, okay, like nerd stuff's being cool. And that's been like the buzz talk for like 7 years now. And if you're like an older nerd like me, I'm real fucking sick of it. Because I have friends from high school and college now that are like messaging me like, hey, do you play D&D? How do I get into D&D? And I was like, fuck you guys. Because when I was in high school, if you wanted to play Dungeons and Dragons, you have to have 3 friends that could keep a secret. Like that's. We playing tonight? And like I would, and this is true, I would come home to my parents' house at like 2 in the morning on a Saturday night, and they'd both be there like, where were you? I'm like, were you doing drugs? And you look at the monster manual in your hand, you're like, yeah, I was doing a lot of drugs. Or worse, like you tell them the truth, and you're like, all right, look, we needed the Orb of Ophidian, and it's in the elemental plane of chaos, so we had to make a deal with a Baylor demon. A demon? I knew if we bought him that Slipknot album, he'd worship the devil. Like, whoa, whoa. Devils are chaotic evil. Devils are lawful evil. Demons are chaotic evil. It's a completely different thing. Oh my God, our son's a nerd. And it was just worse. Oh man, you guys watch anime at all? Oh wow, I wasn't expecting. I was ready to just move on. Because I'm a big anime fan, but I like kind of older stuff. I just keep talking to you because you're the most responsive. So. You're my friend now. But you like anime? You like older stuff like Outlaw Star or Cowboy Bebop?
I watched a little bit of Cowboy Bebop. That's probably one of the older.
Trigon's older now, which blows my mind. Because I'm like, no, it came out like 3 years ago. I think Trigon can vote now. But like we go to anime cons. We got to write anime material. So I just go on Hulu and I see what's up there. And the last thing I found was Attack on Titan Junior High. Yeah. It's exactly Attack on, like it starts with a cute little theme song, and they're little chibi versions of themselves, and they're all in like the schoolyard, and there's still the wall, and then the fucking colossal Titan just kicks the door in again, and the Titans start climbing in, and it's exactly like Attack on Titan. I'm like, fuck, they tricked me. Oh my God, they're all gonna die. And then they pick them up and they eat their lunches. And like that's the concern. Like that's the problem. And I realized that this is after watching Attack on Titan, this is the best thing that they could come out with. Like it's like anime aftercare. And I think like every anime needs this now. Like you watch Full Metal Alchemist and then Envy sneaks up on Maze Hughes and you're like, oh my God, he's gonna die. And she just gives him a wedgie and you're like, oh thank God. Or Lust, I forget who kills him. I might have screwed that up. Or Tina, what's her name? Nina Tucker. You know the meme where the little girl gets turned into a dog? But instead, no, she's just in a dog costume and she dances around. It's real fun. You're like, oh, thank God. And then you take Magic Madoka and it's the fucking same show. And there's just they just kill all those little girls. There's nothing you can do about it. Yes, but it's just great because no one's killing themselves. It's just children having a fun childhood. I lost my track because I got so upset. Oh, man. And did you guys watch Sword Art Online? I really dug it because I played a lot of MMOs when I was in college. And that's what it is. Sword Art Online is you plug in Matrix style to an MMO. So it's basically World of Warcraft. And then the first... because we just plugged in and then we didn't move. And then the first day, everybody's there, and then the dude that made the game shows up, and he's like, you're all trapped here now, and no one can leave until someone beats the game. And like, if your parents try to unplug you, you die, and like, you're trapped there. And one of the worst things is that everybody now, their avatar looks like they do in real life. So if you made yourself as a female, now you're a dude, and vice versa. I hate that, because if I play an MMO, I just make me, but in better shape. And so then I'm trapped there, just like, oh, great. Fat here now, too. Fantastic. At least I don't wheeze when I go up steps. Why would they patch that? Why are they patching that? Who even cares? There's a dude in the game. To get out, you don't have to beat the game. Someone has to beat the game. There's a guy in the show that fishes all day. He just lives by a lake, and he fishes. He's like, I haven't seen my wife in 2 years. This is the best thing that's ever happened to me. I hope they never get out. But yeah, it's a cool show. I have a hard time getting into a lot of games now because I'm a big narrative guy. Like, I like playing RPGs, and a lot of the games I find are just kind of like, you got to complete it, 100% completion. Why? Just because do it. The number needs to get higher so you complete it all. And like, I think that's why I'm more of a Marvel fan than a DC fan, because like the Marvel here, like Reed Richards and Peter Parker and Bruce Banner they're doing science shit. They're trying to solve problems. Villains show up and they fuck with them. DC, Batman's just out there every night like, was there any mentally handicapped people in Halloween costumes I can accost? And like, that would affect the world. They're like, Batman, you missed Super Croc's parole meeting. He's out now. What were you doing? I only have 96 of 97 Joker chattering teeth. What? I need them all for 100%. Of what? Of justice. Yes, it's not in me. And so I like RPGs, but I hate myself, so I play on an Xbox. It's all my games. My favorite game is Netflix. And it sucks because a lot of I still like shooters, and a lot of my friends play like Overwatch. And if you play a shooter on Xbox, you're kind of like those dudes in Japan after World War II ended for 10 years. They're still on an island, like thinking the war's happening. It's just one guy. Everybody's like, Greg-san, this thing's over, man. Or Greg-sama, if they're being respectful. And that's all I know about Japan. So. And like all the consoles have their, and people, I have PC friends that play Overwatch, and they're like, what's the meta? We're doing like the jump meta. What's the meta in Xbox? I'm like, oh, the meta? Oh, well, you wait with 5 players with no healer, you get a guy, he's a Hanzo, and then he calls you a racial slur. Is that the meta? Is that what you're talking about? That's Xbox. And like for a while, all the consoles had their own little cultures. Like, do you remember the first Wii used to tell you to exercise? Like, if you played it for too long, it's like, hey, why don't you go outside? And I worried that would become the trend of consoles. Like, PlayStation would just be like, hey, you've been playing a lot of The Last of Us lately. Thinking about hurting yourself? Or if Xbox, if you're playing Halo and you don't move for 10 seconds, like, you jacking it to Cortana? I'm like, you know I am. I own an Xbox. That's what we do. It just says jacking it to Cortana on my notes, and that makes me so very, very sad. And I did something that you should never, ever do recently, and that's I moved back to the town I grew up in. Yeah, don't. Once you leave Pallet Town, don't fucking go back. There's nothing there for you. And it sucked, because you don't have a lot of friends there, so the only friends that you know are people you knew in high school, and it's like the one couple that started dating in high school, and now they're married, and that's gross. And I'm sorry if you guys started dating in high school, and it was gross. It's gross. But, and they only know how to talk about couple stuff, because they don't have any other friends, so they're just always like, hey, we're thinking about kids. Are you thinking about kids? And I was like, first off, that's not a phrase I can say. You're a couple. It's fine. For me, a weird beardo, if I'm just like, hey, I'm thinking about kids. Red flag. Immediate red flag. And it's always we with people like that. It's just like they talk like Venom from Spider-Man. Just like, we're thinking about kids. We do Pilates. We think if you want a girlfriend, you should stop using such specific Spider-Man references. And they're right, I should. It's not going to happen, but I should. Yeah, and they keep pestering, like, what would you think about kids? Like, I guess I would adopt. I wouldn't wish giant ginger genes on any poor child. And we want to steal babies as gingers. That's just what we want to do. So adoption works for that. And they stopped, and they're like, oh, you got to be careful. I was like, the kid's not going to mug me. They're like, well, you never know what you're going to end up with. I was like, what are you talking about? You get to, like, meet the kid. It's not a shady airport deal where they're just like, psst, hey, are you the guy thinking about kids? Like, you know I am. Here you go. Like, what? Where are you going? What? He's a Hitler clone. Got a mustache and everything. He's a Hitler clone, guys. It's fine. And then the other thing I had to do, I had to get a new doctor. And lo and behold, my doctor also knew me from when I was younger. So like I hear the door open to me. I have anxiety and depression. I need a new medication. So I explain that without even looking. I hear nothing. And I turn around, there's just a woman standing there going, are you Liz's little brother? Oh man, you used to get so drunk. I was like, used to. Yeah. I was like, yeah, so just if you could, I just need a prescription. She's like, yeah, what do you want? What do I want? It's not a medical question. It's like, yeah, I have a piece of paper. I can write anything on here, and they have to give it to you. You want some Adderall? I got a pocket full. I'm like, oh, all right, just give me whatever. And I did, and I left. I left with access to drugs. And then I realized I have anxiety, so I start freaking out. I'm like, I don't know what the side effects are. I don't know what to do. She didn't ask me any questions. She doesn't know anything about me. So what do you do? What's a person supposed to do? Do you call the doctor and ask a reasonable question? No, that's insane. Who would do that? You go on the internet. You go on WebMD, you find out you have cancer, but you get past that. You just have to get past that because that's just what they tell everybody. And I found the drug they gave me, and I found the side effects, and it's the usual list of like contradictory stuff. Like, it might give you insomnia. It might make you sleepy. Might make you constipated. Might give you diarrhea. Might make you suicidal. Might give you an unquenchable lust for life. And then the last two, and I swear to God these are real, was temporary blindness and risk-taking behavior, in parentheses, i.e. feel no fear. And I realized that's awesome because these drugs will make me Daredevil. All right, guys, that's my time. I'm going to bring Laura back up, right? This is kind of a new process I'm not used to. But you have a crown, so.
Yeah. Did he leave?
Yeah, he told us where to leave the crown.
Oh.
Or you could keep it.
I mean, technically, he didn't tell me anything. No, I will give this back officially. Are you guys ready for your headliner? He is the host of Game the Gamer. He is the other half of the Plus 2 Comedy Podcast. And he is a finalist in Philly's Funniest. Welcome to Noah Houlihan.
You guys almost decided not to clap. That was super cool. Yeah, we'll see what he's got first. That's fine. What's up, MAGLabs? Wake up. Come on. That's it. How's everybody enjoying with their weird weapon around their necks? We're like this close to Washington, D.C. The first thing that happened is I walked in. They're like, here, wear this electronic. What's it do? We're not going to tell you. Okay. Nothing could go wrong. First thing I did is I went to the arcade and I was playing Dance Frenzy, which is the one, it's DDR, but for uncoordinated people that just want to wave their arms around. And immediately I went under my bed, swung it up, and hit myself in the face. And it just said, wasted. And I went down. What a wonderful, dangerous thing everybody is wearing around their necks. It's awesome. And I love the theme this year. I do love BioShock. BioShock Infinite is one of my favorite games of all times. This joke is for you and you alone, apparently. Here's the thing, guys. This is how the show works. I'm going to bring up a topic. And then if you guys don't clap, I'm not going to do jokes about it because you're not going to understand it, okay? So I'm like, hey, if you guys get it, did you guys get an NES Classic? And you guys clap, I'm going to mug you and fucking steal it from you. But it's just how it's going to work. But BioShock Infinite was one of my favorite games, and I went in completely blind. Like, I didn't want to, learn too much about it. So I read a little bit of the reviews, and I went in and I played it, and I loved it, but it is super racist, and nobody mentioned that in the reviews, like, at all. It is crazy, crazy racist. And I was like, oh, all right, I don't know how to feel about this, so I ran to the internet, and I was like, guys, this is crazy racist, right? I'm not crazy? And they were like, oh, it's like 1920 in that game? They're just trying to be historically accurate. It's like, okay. It also takes place in a magical floating city. I think we lost historically accurate like a while ago. That'd be like if I went to a Renaissance fair and they immediately just gave you the plague. It was like, oh, just being historically accurate. What, that guy's dressed as Doctor Who. We're drinking iced tea. It's fine. I'm trying to be more of an adult. Boo. I know. It sucks because everyone's just like telling me that I love video games and I love anime and I love comic books and that I need to grow up and watch like football, and I hate it. I hate football. I hate it so much. It doesn't make me an adult. And I hate football because they all use the same stupid line, which I can't stand. Anytime something amazing happens, they say, "Oh my God, did you see that? It's like a scene from a video game." Really? You talking about Madden? Because that's like based off the shit you're watching. It's not that incredible. Like, I'd understand if like I saw someone jump on a linebacker's head and then grab a turtle shell and knock 7 more guys over and then run into the end zone with 3 seconds left so fireworks go off and then a cheerleader runs out and says, "I'm sorry, the princess is in another end zone." Then I'd be like, holy shit! You see that? It was like a scene from a video game. The whole part with the turtle shell. You fucking missed it. That's awful. Yeah, football is not my sport of choice. My sport of choice is professional wrestling. Okay, that was enough of a response to do this joke. Really feeling that one out. I actually was reading that a wrestling school near me was doing a scholarship. And I was like, all right. You know, my self-esteem has been floating somewhere near normal. Let's knock that down a few pegs and try out for wrestling school. Let's do this. So I went, and this guy comes out, and he's like, all right, welcome to wrestling school. Now, just so you guys know, we're not looking for the strongest person here. We're not looking for the fastest person here. We're looking for the toughest person here. I was like, all right, I could be the toughest. All right, let's do this. All right, squats. All right, squats. Here we go. We're going to do squats. All right, now push-ups. So I'm like, oh, an athlete. You're looking for an athlete. That's what you want. No one's ever done 100 push-ups out of pure toughness. That has never happened. Like, I've never watched a Western where someone, like, walks into a saloon like, squeaky, squeaky. I'm the toughest SOB to ever put on a pair of spurs. And if any of you don't think I'm the toughest, we can go outside and run wind sprints until one of us falls over. No, that has never happened. But I tried my hardest because I've always wanted to be a wrestler. And at the end, they sat everybody down, and they said that they would like to invite Noah Houlihan to become a professional wrestler. Yeah, I won a sport. I did it. It was the first time I'd ever won a sport. It did. And the thing is, I didn't know how to react because I'd never won anything before. So I cried. And not like that cool, like, single-tear, proud cry. It was full just, I'm the toughest. I'm the toughest. But I've actually been training to be a wrestler, and I had my first match. And in my first match, the way wrestling starts off is you lock up. And I went to lock up, and I did it wrong. So he punched me in the face. And I got a concussion. I got a concussion immediately. like to put that in perspective, you know how in football they start with a kickoff? I got a concussion during the coin flip to figure out which team does that. That's my skills. I can't be an adult. I like just physically can't. I don't have adult fears. There's things I'm afraid of that as an adult you can't be afraid. I'm gonna get real with you guys. It's an intimate group. I'm afraid of apples. I had a traumatic experience as a child, and I'm afraid of apples. And I know it doesn't make any goddamn sense. I know there are people that are allergic to peanuts, and if peanuts are near them and the wind blows, they explode. Like, that's a real concern. But I ate an apple once, and it made me feel a little queasy, and now when they're near me, I freak out for no reason. That's a real fear I have. Another real fear I have is I'm afraid the world we live in is a video game. It's a real fear, and I'm not the main character. I mean, fucking look at me. I'm no hero. Look at me. Like, I'm some, like, non-playable. Like, my role in this video game is I go, welcome to our village, and that's it. That's my entire life saying that. That used to be my biggest fear. My now biggest fear is that this is all just a movie, and it's a time travel movie, and we're part of the bad timeline that exists because the hero screwed something up in the past. Like, I think somewhere our heroes are just coming out of a wormhole like, wait, what happened? Who's the president? Donald Trump, the actor? Oh, we screwed up real bad, Morty. We screwed up real bad. Yeah, it gets worse. Here, Half-Life 3's been canceled, Kingdom Hearts 3 hasn't come out, and Firefly only ran one season. Oh, my God. I'm going to call for help. My phone exploded. The phones explode here. Worse. I'm bad at fear. I'm bad at... Like, I just got Friday the 13th. Have you guys been playing that at all? No. Basically, it's a very simple concept of you're one of the counselors, someone else is Jason, you work together, and you all survive. And then the game starts, and you all turn into idiots, and you run in separate directions until Jason kills you. It is the perfect simulator of a Friday the 13th movie. It's nothing but yelling at the screen, no, stupid, Jason's in there. Damn it, they're dead. It's the whole game. It's perfect, except you don't get to have sex with anybody. That's the only problem. So, like I said, I've been trying to grow up. I'm actually a teacher when I'm not doing this. I'm actually a teacher, which is a terrible decision for me. Because apples, they're the worst. But also, if you're wondering what it's like to go from being a student in school to being a teacher in school, it's the exact same bullshit you've always had to deal with. Like, before there were jocks and nerds, now there are gym teachers and English teachers, and it's the same crap. Like, I was just sitting eating my lunch, and I saw this gym teacher just eye me up. And I was like, oh, just like he was looking at me like prey, like he was a raptor, just like looking at me. And I was like, this guy's gonna be a pain in the ass. And then I got attacked, not by him, but from the sides, from the two other gym teachers I didn't know were there. You guys should see Jurassic Park. And they're like, oh, hey, no, you eating? Hey, you excited for football? You excited for football? And I was like, no, I did a whole joke about this already. Not excited for football. And they're like, man, you don't get it. There is nothing like the feeling I get when my team takes the field. Ah, it fills me with such joy. I was like, you know what? I do get that. That's the same feeling I get every time a new Spider-Man movie comes out. The only difference is there's never a time where I go see Spider-Man and he just gets his ass kicked for 3 hours straight, and we all leave the theater going, better luck next year. It's a rebuilding year for Spider-Man, I guess. He was like, man, you don't get it. You don't get it. He's a gym teacher. He knows like 8 words. You don't get it. When I go out there and I see my team win and I cheer them on, it's like I'm part of the team. So every time they win, it's like I win. And I got to do something I never thought I was going to get to do. I got to look a grown human being in the eyes and say, shut up, you stupid nerd. Really? Really? You're going to tell me that when they win, you win, and I live in a fantasy world? Oh, shut up, you stupid nerd. You mean to tell me that every Sunday you have to put on an authentic jersey to cheer on your team? No, you're not a fan. You're a cosplayer. Shut up, you stupid nerd. You mean to tell me that you take the statistics from football games and play imaginary football games on the internet? No, that's not fantasy football. That's fan fiction. Shut up, you stupid nerd. Now, in retrospect, that was a bit of an overreaction to a guy that was just trying to explain why he likes a thing. And then I realized, like, that's what bullying is. Like, he liked a thing. I didn't understand it, so I yelled at him. And it felt amazing. Oh, my God, guys. If you ever get a chance to bully someone, do it. It's the fucking best. It's the best feeling you can have. Don't really do it, but do it. It feels really, really good. It's the best. How much time we got left? I know that we got to be out of here at 11:45, and I don't want to be disrespectful. We got some time. Everything is okay. You guys still playing Pokemon Go? Nah. It's still like draining your battery on your phone, but you're not really trying anymore. That's fine. Who went Valor? Shamefully. Who went Mystic? All right. Who went Hufflepuff? Yeah. I am a proud Team Yellow member, and it is the best because you can talk to anybody, and they're like, if you talk to someone from like Valor, they're like, well, Valor's the best. Mystic is a bunch of assholes, and Yellow doesn't matter. And then you talk to Mystic, and they're like, well, Valor's a bunch of assholes. Mystic is the best, and Yellow doesn't matter. And you talk to Instinct, and they're like, well, we like colors. It's the best. I'm thinking about switching, though. I want to go Team Rocket, I think. We're just going to go around and steal people's phones. It'd be the best. And I'm going to have 2 agents that just follow one 10-year-old kid around. We got it. It worked. Ha-ha. Password. Damn it. And I love the augmented reality because all I want to do is find my favorite Pokemon and like just take a selfie with them, and now I can. My favorite Pokemon is Farfetch'd. I have to go to Japan. To see my favorite Pokemon. He's my favorite Pokemon because he's so dumb. Do you know what Farfetch'd's power is? Farfetch'd eats onions all day and tastes real good. That's his power. It's amazing. And it got me thinking, they're eating the Pokemon. Like, it never dawned on me. Like, in the anime, you see them eating meat, and there's no animals, so they're eating the Pokemon. And in the Pokemon world, you can't be a vegetarian because the vegetables are also Pokemon. It is a horrible world to live in. So people try to get me excited for E3. I hate E3. I'm not watching it anymore. It is the annual lying convention. I hate it. It is the worst. Did you guys watch it this year at all? The best part of it was the big surprise and big secret was they showed a trailer for Beyond Good and Evil 2. Beyond Good and Evil came out, 10, 15 years ago? I was a different person when that game came out. And they showed a trailer for Beyond Good and Evil 2, and then a guy came out to talk about it and started crying. He's like, yeah, we worked really hard on this. And just to see it here, it's a dream come true. They showed no gameplay at all. The reason he was crying is he knew that now that he showed that trailer, people were going to stop screaming in his face, where's Beyond Good and Evil 2? It's like, there's a trailer, please, just leave me alone. I want to go on with my life. It's what I need to do. And I love about this place. This is my first MAGLabs, and I love it. I love that there's there's so many just different types of games here. I love that we can play D&D. I'm a big D&D fan. And what's amazing about D&D is all it is some guy figured out a way to sell kids pretend. That's it. That's the whole game. Because one day, Gary Gygax walked into a room, was like, what are you kids doing? Using your imagination. Well, you can't do that without this $30 book of rules. And then I bought it. I was like, oh, my God, you mean I could fight dragons and shoot fire out of my fingertips? He was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. You're not a high enough level to pretend that yet. You're going to have to put in 30, maybe 40 hours of hardcore pretend before you can even think about pretending that. And I did. And you know what? Not once in my time playing D&D did I sell my soul to the devil like I was told I was going to, because it's the devil's game. And I hate that. I hate this weird thing where anything that's nerdy and popular is the devil. Like, oh, Harry Potter, teaching kids witchcraft, must be the devil. Pokemon, teaching kids evolution, must be Satan. If this is true, the devil is the biggest nerd in existence. Which makes perfect sense if you think about it. Like God is this jock who lives up in heaven. God has to be a jock. Football players ask him for help like all the time. So God is this jock, and he throws the devil out of heaven into hell, the basement of existence, where there's no air conditioning, so it's real hot, and it's bad for his skin, and it gets all red and blotchy. And what does the devil do? Collect souls. How? Fiddle competitions. Because even though the devil likes metal, his mom wanted him to play a classical stringed instrument. And what does he do with these souls? We don't know. But he collects them, mint, in box, on display, gaining value. I love it. I love I loved Death Note. Did you guys watch Death Note? Yeah. Did you guys watch the movie? No. You guys are missing out on a lot of anger you can have. You're going to have so much anger if you watch this film. It's unbelievable. If you haven't seen it, the Death Note movie is directed by a die-hard Death Note fan that loves Death Note and wanted to bring the best out of this film. The people who wrote it was a guy at Thanksgiving whose niece tried to tell him what the story of Death Note was, and he was like, "Yeah, I got it. Whatever. They're writing a notebook. Yeah, this is fucking. I got all this. It's an anime about rules. You gotta fucking pay attention to this shit." And I love the anime. The anime is the greatest thing I've ever seen because it's a chess match. That's all it is. You got Light Yagami, who has the power to kill anybody as long as he knows their name and their face, and they can write it in the book. And he takes on the name Kira, which is killer, said with a racist Japanese accent. And on the other side is L, which is the one letter they can't say. What are they doing? And they have this amazing battle where they're just constantly trying to stay a few moves ahead of each other, just trying to outsmart each other and outplay each other, planning for every possible outcome. And then Taylor Swift shows up. That's just what happens. She's got a Death Note of her own. She's a daydream dressed like a nightmare, and she's got a blank space baby, and she'll write your name. Guys, I know a lot about Taylor Swift. I don't know why. But, I love just the whole idea of Death Note, because if it were to happen to me, I know exactly what would go down. It's like, oh, what's this? Well, this is interesting. If you write a name in this notebook, that person will die. Nope. Not going to screw with that. Cursed notebook. I'm going home. But the problem is that means I touched it and I didn't give it to anyone else, which means it's still mine. Which means Ryuk is still going to show up in my bedroom out of nowhere. Just like, hey, you didn't give the Death Note away. Who the hell are you? I'm your new roommate. I'll be hanging around. This is the worst thing that's ever happened to me. Yeah, and on top of that, only you can see me, so everyone will think that you're crazy. Please go away. And I eat apples all the time. No, I don't want this. All right, that's it for me. Thank you guys so much. I'm going to ring the rest of +2 comedy up here. I'm also going to unzip my hoodie because I'm hot as hell. How much time we got left? We got a few minutes to do a Q&A? Or we have 1 minute. Are we good to 12? Oh, all right, then get off stage. I want to do more jokes. No, I'm kidding.
I'm just going to interrupt him while you do them.
All right, cool. So, yeah, we like to end all of our shows with a Q&A. If you want to ask us about us or about comedy, you can.
Get your crown.
Or,
Get it.
Or if you have left your crown here and you want to come get it, now would be a good time. Or if you want to ask us what the worst video game of all time is, we will answer that and give you a definitive answer. So you can ask us anything you want, or you can tell us about a nerd debate that you've had in the back of your mind. So, who has a question for us? I'm sorry? It's bad. Zero.
Is 10 being the worst, or is 10 being the least horrible?
I'm gonna give it a 5 because it floats into that so bad it's good territory a few times, and then it kind of gives you hope, and then it gets kind of good, and then it just hurts you some more. So yeah, it's a roller coaster ride of like, I just want to like it. And the weird thing about it is, if you're a fan of the anime, you're gonna hate it because they screwed shit up. If you're not a fan of the anime, you're not gonna understand the goddamn movie because they don't do enough. I swear to you, this movie is 20% montage. It's just like, oh, we got to kill all these people. Oh, yeah. And that goes on for way too long. So I would give it a 5. That's where I would place it. You guys haven't seen it.
No, I have no opinion.
Good call.
I like Final Destination, though.
Yeah, it's one of the best Final Destination movies you'll ever see.
Well, when you said the montage, that's what I imagined. It's just a bunch of people dying Final Destination style.
And they do. Like, it's really gory. Like,
With Willem Dafoe eating an apple, like, hey.
Yeah, after you see it, go back and watch Final Destination and pretend that Light is just hiding in a bush writing down names. It makes those movies so much better, I promise you. You had a question, sir.
Sure. What's your favorite Nintendo meme, and why is it Luigi Dabbing?
Luigi Dabbing's really good. I agree.
I'm still not over Death Face Luigi.
That's amazing.
I never... yeah, it's still amazing.
Yeah, the Death Stare Luigi, I think, is my favorite. Also, hitting chickens. I'm a big fan of hitting chickens. Animal abuse, right?
Anything Animal Crossing is still fun for me.
Yeah, the villager being a murderer. Big fan of that as well. That's really good as well.
I like Luigi Dabbing because it was like a little bit too late.
Yeah.
Like, Nintendo was like, oh, Luigi dabs. And we're like, that was...
Yeah, we're
the
done.
Dab is
Yeah.
gone.
That's like
Mario
done.
does the Macarena. Like, no.
Also, the rabbits are here.
Yeah, thank God. The rabbits. I hate the rabbits. They're pale minions. That's all they are. Yes, sir.
What's one video game you would recommend that came out in the last 5 years?
I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna recommend this game, and it's not good.
No, he's going to talk for like an hour now.
I love The Witness. Has anyone played The Witness? Yes. All right. Listen up, gang. It's by the guy who made Braid, and all it is mazes. You start here, and then you draw a line, and that's it. This game could have been accomplished in a notebook, but it's a $40 video game. It's not very good. I can't stop playing it. I'm on my 3rd playthrough of it. The puzzles don't change. This game is the equivalent to cigarettes. Like, he's like, no, I thought you were done. I was like, nope, I'm back on it. And I want everyone else to do it with me so I feel less alone. So everyone buy The Witness. It's awful. Is it $20? I paid $40 for that game.
Well, you can't play it here.
It's
set off the fire
It's
alarm.
really interesting. It gives you just enough. It's like a freemium game. It gives you just enough to be like, all right, I'll see if this goes somewhere, and then it doesn't go anywhere. The Witness, that would be my recommendation. Guys?
You guys might know better if they fixed all the glitches in Battlefield 1. No, nobody played it. You guys missed what you paid $60 for was the privilege to play the unfinished game, and it was amazing. any like GIF you've seen of it being ridiculous, that's the whole game. Like I rode a horse, a plane came by, I jumped onto the plane, I was in the back seat of the enemy was driving it, I killed him, jumped to the driver's seat, realized they can't shoot, jumped back to the gunner's seat, shot people, did that for a while. At one point, I had a sniper rifle, and I was looking at a bunker, and then a dude looked at me, went like this, and then teleported 100 feet to stab me in the heart. Like, this game is amazing.
It's the closest you come to feng shui.
Yeah. And like I really wanted to be like, all right, we're on the floor. What glitches should we fix? And people are like, don't you fucking touch
Don't you
this.
touch this. It's perfect.
So I like more like mystery games. So I'm gonna say Gone Home,
Ooh,
because
yeah.
it's a story-based game. You've been studying abroad. You take a taxi home, and you come home and you find your family missing and your house ravaged.
Now, do you have a special set of skills?
No.
No.
And
Not a
that's pretty
skill
much
to be
all I
found.
can tell you without ruining the game.
Yes.
You kind of just have to find out, like, where's all my stuff and what has happened here.
Isn't your family missing? Didn't you just say that?
Oh, yeah, your family's
But
missing. too.
you're concerned with stuff first?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, but that game does tell a great story. That's the best real answer that you get out of us is play Gone Home. It's amazing.
Yeah, I actually did a good game.
Yeah, exactly. Any other questions? Yes, sir.
What's your favorite class playing D&D?
Oh, I always play as a rogue, just because I love stealing. It is my absolute favorite thing. The last game of D&D I played, we were trying to rescue a princess. And the moment I saw the princess, I hugged her and robbed her. Like, immediately. And, like, Will will tell you, I'm not the best person to play D&D with, because the character I always make is weird and quirky. He's like, no, he has to steal everything. So I always play, I love stealing. I'd rather sneak up and stab someone than really like fight or do spells. So I always play as a rogue.
Bard's always my go-to, because I like nobody respecting all the hard work I put into saving my party's ass constantly.
And you get to sing.
Well, yeah, you don't have to, but if you want to. I find that there's a superpower you can have if you're a mildly charismatic human, and that's that you are now a god to nerds who just don't think about talking their way out of stuff or not. And it got to the point in one group where I had a bard that was just charisma is a superpower, and there's a mechanic where you can just roll to make people believe most of what you say. And to trump that, my GM started having, anytime we ran into someone, they would roll a perception check to remember that I'm the one that slept with their spouse. And I was like a pansexual David Bowie, so I was like, I probably did shit. Like, I wasn't mad. I was like, fuck, I did. We gotta go.
I always play as a bard because I just like to annoy the living shit out of everybody else in my party. Like, the first time I played, everybody else had these, like, really nice little, like, tokens to play with, and I had, like, a Pikachu earring that I found under my bed before I got there, and I was like, that's me! And they're like...
I'd hate you.
They're like, you're a Pikachu, and then I refused to answer any questions. Like, I would talk to the DM privately, but everything else I said for the rest of the time was, Chew! Pika! And then that was outlawed in the next game.
One of the best things I ever did, it was a game I was playing with Will. Will had a game that I was not invited to play in. And then I had a free night, and I just showed up. And immediately they're like, Noah's going to screw up the game. That's what he's going to do. And anytime I took an action, I wrote a note to the DM. 100% of the time. And the note 100% of the time says, I do exactly what I said I was going to do. So just the whole time they're like, I'm really suspicious of this new guy. And I'm like, why? I'm doing everything right. You don't see me do that.
My DM had
That
to
was a
translate.
great game.
They were like, what did she say? And he was like, and then he'd have like a 5-sentence paragraph that came from, Chew!
I love D&D.
We don't
Such a
play
fun
well.
game.
Don't play with us.
Yeah, don't play with us. We're miserable. We have a great time.
We play like community style D&D.
Yeah, very, very true. Yeah, questions from you, sir. Favorite video game?
Oh my God, mine is Dr. Mario.
Oh God,
I'm like
yeah.
a junkie. Like I've been in the game room a lot.
Yeah. Laura lost time in the game room. She's like, she's playing Dr. Mario, an amount of time went by, and then we pulled her away.
I got to level 20. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
I don't
did
know
you play
because I
Mario
didn't
3?
see anyone around me.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Probably, but I didn't see anyone
Yes,
around
Strider
me.
was in fact next to you.
Probably. Full Disney princess, like they're playing Dr. Mario.
Yep, that was 100% her. I
And now you-
guarantee it. I wasn't there when this happened, but I guarantee you that was her.
It's totally me.
If I have to go from all time, Portal. Portal is the best game I've ever played. And the reason I always say is Portal mechanically is a wonderful game. I consider them one game. Because playing like from Portal 1 to the end of Portal 2 in a night, which is a thing I've done, is just an amazing experience. And the reason I always say it's the best game of all time is just mechanically, Portal is an amazing game. If all Portal was the test chambers, it would be a great game. But the fact that they took the time to like, no, we're going to add lore, we're going to add an amazing amount of humor, and they created that game, just the love that had to go into that game to create Portal is what makes it, to me, the greatest game of all time. And, as comedians, I always talk about, like, humor in games, and that's the only real game that I can consider a funny video game. Like, the actual playing of the game is funny. Like, there's so many, like, point-and-click adventures and stuff that has funny writing, but the actual act of playing Portal has funny elements, and I can't think of another game that does that at least as well as Portal. So Portal's my choice.
Oh, you should have gone last.
I was about to yell, "Shut up, you stupid nerd."
With your heartfelt response. Mine's Ocarina of Time, just because that's my favorite game. I play it every year around Christmas because that's when I got it. Yeah, it's sweet. Or Bushido Blade. Just because I have a ton of friends that are so good at fighting games, I can't play any of them except for so I'm like, just come down to Bushido Blade, and then we'll see who's the boss. Yeah. And then while you're talking, I just kill you in one move.
But Bushido Blade is the thing Will pulls out every time we start playing Nidhogg. He's like, no, this is the original.
Those assholes are so good at it. Like, no, come down to my level.
Yeah, look at my extra dimension.
PlayStation 1.
So I think we got time for one more question. Yeah, one more question. Anybody got it? Make it the best question ever.
Yeah, best
Pressure.
question ever. Go.
Yes, sir. No.
I mean, I'd go on every once in a while.
Yeah.
I got deep into World of Warcraft for a couple of months in college with some friends, and then can I go back and play like old World of Warcraft? No, not Warcraft. Yeah, vanilla World of Warcraft. We're like, if I wanted to do Shadowfang Keep, I had to hang out at 2 a.m. because we didn't have a healer for 3 hours, and I got to know the names of the same dudes that were up at 3 a.m. And like there was I'm friends with those people still. Now with like the world, I'm like, oh great, some new douchebag. Like it's so impersonal now. So yeah, if I could go back to vanilla, I would 100% do it again.
Yeah, I would do it if it was a different game.
Yeah,
that
if
was
it was
good.
not shitty, I would definitely do it.
All right, I believe we are out of time. That is Laura Ashley. That is Will Liam. My name's Noel Houlihan. Together we are Plus 2 Comedy. Thank you guys so much for coming out. We have a brand new game show that is online. Check out Plus 2 Comedy Gaming on YouTube and check out our new game show, Game the Gamer. It's evil. Thank you guys so much for coming out, and thank you so much to MAGLabs.